Hey everyone, John Runner 88 here, and today we're going to have a clone conversation. We're going to be talking about our white clad boys here, and just have a little discussion about how Hasbro could be giving us more of them. Yes, more. We want more, because do not kid yourself. I know some people are going to be like, oh, the antenna mold is the superior clone. Here, let's get a little side by side. Yeah, no. um, I would say the only thing the antenna mold has is that the helmet is maybe like a bit more accurate. I think it's still a little squished. It's not as accurate as it could be. But yeah, the antenna mold does not look good. So, and it is for what it was at the time. It was fantastic. I have a bunch of them myself, but we're in the future now. And the future's this guy right here. And a lot of people, I think, are trying to kid themselves into thinking that this is, like, still fine. It's not. They're too. The legs. I will give you that from, like, the. Not even the belt, because the belt is too small, but from, like, the torso and, like, the arms, like, that could have been salvaged maybe a little bit, but the legs do not work. And they're just too tall. They've got like that weird like bit of ankle there that just like adds that extra height that just doesn't work for them. But what we're here to talk about is ways that we can get more clones because Hasbro loves the repaints, and this is a figure that can be repainted a million times over, quite literally. So how can they do that? How can they give us a bunch more clones? Let's think about it. What are ways that companies can put out a bunch of something and make people buy them and then keep buying them even if they get the same thing? I got it. Blind bags. That's what we could call them. Something like that, where you get a figure, you don't know what it is, and you buy it, and you get a nice surprise when you open it up. Yes, blind bags. It's the bane of the toy aisles of recent years, unfortunately. To varying degrees. Sometimes it works out. There are some instances where they make it work. Either like sometimes I know Hasbro did do the Transformers bots. I loved those, and they did actually put codes on the back, and you can look and see which one you're getting. I love that. Do you know why I love that? Because the average consumer is not going to care about that. They're just going to be like, "Oh, little Billy loves Transformers. Here's a cheap Transformers toy. I can pick one of these up for him." They're not going to care. But for the collectors, that's greatly appreciated when we can not get screwed over, for lack of a better term. But a way that they could definitely make this work for Clone Troopers is, follow me now. We've got this new mold. They're going to pump it out a million times over. It will pay for itself eventually. They're already coming out with the 4-pack. The 4-packs are fantastic, but we want troopers to be a constant in the toy aisles. We want them to always be there. We want collectors to always be able to get whatever they want. And like army building is a staple for 3 3/4 inch. I know there's some 6 inchers out there that can accommodate army building that, but 3 3/4 is where it is at for most collectors. This is by far the best clone we have ever gotten. Aside from the helmet, I have seen somebody the visor is not as bad as it looks when like actually like sculpted. You can like paint it a little bit and like widen the visor and it looks a bit more accurate, but they do need to rectify it somehow. because you can see that the paint is not lining up as well as it should. Now, blind bags, you say. Blind bags, I say. Yes, because it lends itself so well to it. I know that the super articulation can be expensive to produce. However, I feel that when it comes to like this, just almost all white, a little bit of black. Like this is just white and black paint. Not even white paint really. It's like there's a little white like on the hands and stuff. It's basically just white plastic, black plastic, some black paint, some gray paint, and then you've got the face deco. This, I'm sure, when they first made it, like for this sculpt, I'm sure it's very expensive to produce to get all the molding and stuff for it. But I guarantee that in like a year or so, this is going to be fully paid off and just profit after that for the most part. I know it's not just going to be straight profit, but far more profitable. And making one of these troopers probably won't be as expensive as it is today when you factor in all those, all the costs and stuff. I am not involved with all that. I don't know how expensive it is, but it can be offset, I'm sure, somehow. But they could I'm sure, do a more budget-friendly line of blind bag troopers. I know $10 is not going to happen, but it would be awesome. That would be the perfect price point to just have these blind bag troopers and just do like, let's say, first wave. It's got, say it's like all phase 2 troopers or whatever. Do phase 2 white trooper. Do a phase 2 kind of scuffed up trooper, like kind of like this antenna mold here. He's got the, little scuffs around. Do like a battle damage one. Do just random stuff. I do like a chase 501st, throw them in there. Why not? Just do like unique designs, just stuff that hasn't necessarily been in like a show or on the big screen. Just things to pad out this subline. Have it be like, can have the little vintage collection moniker on the side or something. But they could do like little like clone looking tubes or something. They can have some fun with it. That way, like they don't have to pay like for the vintage collection like card backs and stuff and the bubbles. Like it could even be just like people are gonna steal them. That's what they do. They do like a cardboard tube or something. Save on like packaging that way. You can do like the plastic free and do what I would say the biggest thing that they would have to do though is different heads. This sculpt here is using the ARC Trooper heads. The ARC Trooper heads are fantastic. They look amazing. But the old VC-45 Clone Trooper, they made new heads for it. And they have hairstyles that these ones do not, and they do not fit because these are using a barbell like head system, and those are just a straight ball peg or ball joint. So those heads unfortunately don't work on these. But I would love it if they would make these hairstyles like on these troopers, because these guys, they've got like that kind of lineup. It's like a flat top almost, and that is a more kind of like fluffy hairstyle, kind of like more like what Jango Fett actually had. Then we got the bald one. Those ones do work. We are getting a waxer in the 4-pack of the 212th that is using the bald head, so that's awesome. And we just saw with Havoc back here, he's got his sideburns soul patch combo going on. So that would be a fantastic way to add variety to like these blind bags. Say you get like 2 like white clone troopers or whatever. It's like, okay, lovely. 2 of the same guy, but they're clones. That's to be expected. But it would be awesome if maybe the heads weren't always the same. Maybe there's just like a a stock bald head. Like, we still haven't gotten just like a straight bald clone trooper. They're they use this head. Jesse's got his tattoos. They're coming out with was it Clone Commander Blitz? No, it's Colt, I believe. He's got the bald head, but they gave him like kind of like a little like gray like buzz cut kind of thing going on, kind of like Captain Rex's hairstyle. And something like this. This is a little quick custom I did. This 501st Trooper, his eyes were a little wonky, and so I just gave him like I just dabbed some paint along his face and just gave him like a little 5 o'clock shadow thing going on. And that's what they did with Havoc back there. It's not sculpted on, they just painted the little soul patch and the sideburns on. And it doesn't look the best because it would have looked even better if they like sculpted it, but it's a great kind of, it's a great like in between. It's just a great way to like utilize the same sculpt and not just get even more mileage out of it. But I think it would be a fantastic line. They could just, I don't even know what they would call it. It would be something stupid like clone tubes or something. I don't know. They've got a whole marketing team for that. That's not my job. It could be my job. I mean, why not? But I think that would be a fun way to keep troopers out there. And you could even do something similar with with stormtroopers. They could pump those out. They could do battle damage ones. They could do like repack remnant stormtroopers or something like that. You could do like a chase, like sand trooper or something. It comes with like a backpack, and it would give you pieces to just like swap out parts with. You could have like maybe just a stark white clone trooper, but have one come with like a big rocket launcher or something. Just simple things to just change things up. Just like have one with just like a random pauldron on it or something. Who knows? They could do all sorts of cool stuff. And then every once in a while be like, hey, this wave has like a phase 1 Gree in it or something. I know that's not phase 1 Gree, but phase 1 Commander Gree. Do like a phase 1 wave and have just like some specialty ones thrown in there. And I just think that would be a really fun way for Hasbro to get the most out of these clones. Like it's a fantastic figure. If you don't agree, did you get the right figure? I don't know. I love it. They pose fantastically. They've got all the articulation they need. We just need more of them. They're single packed in the wave that's out right now. I've got a feeling they did that on purpose because they know that they've got a 4-pack coming, not just the 2/12th. They're going to come out with just like a stark white 4-pack because why wouldn't they? They just got to rework the helmets and then get as many of them into our hands as possible. But yeah, I think that'll about do it, I think. And they could easily do a subline of like just call it like just Vintage Collection Clone Wars or something like that. It's so simple. Vintage Collection Clone Wars series, just cardboard clone tubes. And yeah, that'll about do it, I think. What do you think of that idea? Do you think that would work? Of course it would work. It could get a slightly cheaper like subline in the Vintage Collection on shelves just constantly. And that'll just appeal to just the random person going in being like, "Oh, so and so likes Star Wars. They like what are these? It's got a mystery figure in it. Okay, I'll get that for little Billy. Little Billy will get a mystery Star Wars figure. Who knows what it is? And you know what? Billy will be fine because he's got a few troopers already, and he's got one with a rocket launcher. He's got one with a bald head, and if you get like two of the same, say like there's like 501st ones, and then there's white ones. The 501st has like a bald head, the white ones have this stock head, and then you just take a bald head off one of the 501st, put it on these guys, swap them around. Even if like the helmets are like have slightly different decos on them, or there's so many things they can do, and let's just hope that they do them, because that would be awesome. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for this, guys. Thanks for listening to me ramble and just having this clone conversation with me, this clone convo that we're having right now. It's it's definitely something that Hasbro could be making some sweet, sweet moolah with. Yeah. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Go follow me over on Instagram, JohnRunner88 over there as well. And again, let me know what you think of the idea. Any ideas you have that could help with such a line if they did come out with a sub line. I mean, they could even do like Clone Wars vehicles to go along with them. Who knows? But yeah, I think that'll about do it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.